Okay, I think, yes, we can hear now. We are heard now. We are heard now.
We are
Thank you.
audible. All right, sweet.
Okay, so we'll do the introductions again. I am a derp. Um, hi, hello. I am Lilen, the resident VTuber here. I am going to be playing Masozi Chevalier.
All right, I will go next then. I am solely known as K. I'm the resident DM, all-seeing eye. I'll make sure that hopefully everything goes well, lest anything catches on fire. In which case, we'll just add gasoline. I'm sure they'll fix it.
Then of course we have our awesome barbarian.
I am Paxton, or Pat the Baker. Just here to serve up some good food and I guess knock some sense into something.
And then standing upon the standing box is our little possum buddy. I do not
I'm
know if
Gus.
yeah,
I'm a druid.
Gus. We all love Gus. Gus is everything.
Gus is love. Gus is life.
Exactly.
Alrighty. So, are we ready to get this thing rolling officially?
I believe we are.
Alrighty. Allow me to read us in. Tonight, we're going to start our story. Three adventurers who will be convening through the fate of strange circumstance and necessary events that have to happen. We open our story to the grand city of Aegis, known as one of the largest human settlements that are stationary out in the land of Tormenta. As we make our way through the city, lowering to closest to one of the uh, eastern gates, we have many of the humble humans living their lives. Many of our working, just above working class, known within the guild district. Um, Many of them are just living their lives with the clear blue sky above and the hustle and bustle of another day ahead. We go into the guild, the Adventurers Guild. We see a taller gentleman working some dough. He's kneading, and you can see flour coats his apron overall apparatus as he's going to town on this bread, or this soon to be bread. Pat, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you're doing right now? What are you baking at this moment?
So Pat is baking his specialty, cinnamon rolls, made with a very special cinnamon that he received from a local merchant who has recently not been showing up.
Alas, another merchant that's gone missing within the city. You've noticed that that's been a bit of a trend. Things have been going a little awry within the city of Aegis. Um, as you're needing out of partial obligation and partial anxiety, you hear a knock at the door of your station.
Hello?
Hey, can I come in?
Yep, door's open. I'm kind of arm deep in it.
Are you like? Should I come back? I don't want to disturb. I know last time was a little awkward.
Nope, just got the dough rolling.
Okay, all right. And then you see comes in a stout dwarf. He's got a long blonde beard, but is bald. You know this one as a Jogrum. Jogrum is one of the paper keepers or like accountants or something like that, something of that kin for the guild. They just keep paper trails and tabs and stuff like that. Um, and they come to you and they go, "Hey, wanted to talk to you for a second. Are you available?"
Pat kind of just like puts the dough down. He's like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Listen, the guild's been noticing that you haven't been really taking up a lot of quests recently. We wanted to just check in and see if the disappearance is still weighing on you.
A little bit, but I think I'm ready to start getting back out there.
Good, good. We've been needing the extra hand, and you're one of our most how do you put it? Like shining protege. Really been representing us well, and it's been a little tough without you out there. The guild leader specifically had a something he wanted us to give you. Thought it was great importance. Either that or it's a shame, and you could come right back. But and he goes ahead and he hands to you a paper on it. A parchment, a rolled up parchment, and you see it is stamped with a black and gold wax stamp. And he just kind of stares at you, twiddling his fingers awkwardly.
Okay, and Pat opens it.
Uh, Masozi, what does this say?
All right, so, 1 second. I'm hitting the wrong things are happening. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Okay, sorry. There was technical difficulties. Anyway.
It's all good. My fault. I didn't realize that. We can come back to it if you want.
Oh, no. I had it on push to talk and the talking wasn't happening. Anyway. So, on the parchment, there is pretty fancy hoity-toity letterings, as one writes in vague calligraphy, stating large gold sum offered to applicable adventurers for assistance gathering item. Will offer assistance further. Down payment 250 gold pieces. Oh shit.
As Jogrim looks at you, reading off, he's seeing your eyes kind of dart left or right through your thinner glasses, and they go, "It's not every day we get some from royalty in, and we thought it'd be perfect for you, considering get our name out, probably get some more people in, and you're our best candidate at the moment."
Yeah, and I'll do everything in my abilities to represent the guild appropriately. This seems like a very important mission.
They said to go ahead and meet them at the Sleeping Canary. That's over in Buckler Town.
All right, I'll get my stuff ready immediately.
Listen, I'll keep looking for Cinna. I haven't had anything come up yet.
I appreciate it. I think if I just get out there, I might be able to, ask around, get something.
I agree. I think it'll be really good for you. And he goes ahead, and he can't necessarily reach your shoulder because not only are they super beefy and broad, but you probably tower him over 2 feet. So he instinctively goes to pat your shoulder, but he just like pats your like upper back area, and he goes, that's probably go.
All right, and he starts getting his things ready to go.
All right. So we'll go ahead. We'll pan ourselves back out. We pull ourselves away from the busyness of the guild district as the various different humans are conscripting and working and doing other kinds of things. We fly through the shopping district and the various mercantilism, passing right over Castle Aegis and rounding ourselves all the way back over to Buckler Town, where we specifically head inside of the larger forest kept by some of the local druids, Buckler Grove. We see that there is a individual cloaked in an emerald green coat with a hat made from straw, as they go ahead and they sit there and they are unconscious, asleep, looking like they're meditating. Gus, what you dreaming about right now?
I'm dreaming about cake. Gonna eat some cake later, I hope.
As you're you can taste the sweet, soft vanilla of a home baked cake right after it's cooled. It's just warm enough that you can tell it's just come out of the oven that it was baked inside of, the sweet cream enveloping all of your senses before slowly, as you plunge yourself into this delicious cake, turns black.
Oh no.
You haven't had a dream like this in quite some time. You've been kind of content of resting yourself in Buckler Grove, considering that you can kind of play yourself off as wildlife until you need to go ahead and rest and go about your days and see what kind of things people leave for you. um, you see a magical set of glowing mushrooms that guide your path. What do you do as you see this menagerie of myconids?
I'm gonna follow the trail of mushrooms.
You go ahead, and this place is deafeningly quiet. You can only hear your bare footsteps against the soft, malleable moss that sits below you as you continue to walk through. This is familiar again. You see the purple and blue and orange hue of the various growing mushrooms that slowly grow and grow and grow until you stand behind this in front of this giant mushroom that spans what could see maybe 2 3 giants high easily. It's various fungus surrounding itself, almost like a teacher being surrounded by their children, standing almost in attention, staring at it. It is the great mushroom that has sent you away from your home so long ago.
Great mushroom.
Gus, it is good to see you again. You don't see anything in particular move. You don't see anything that shows that it's communicating, but you can clearly hear the soft, parental guiding voice echo in your head.
It's been a while.
It has. I have been preoccupied. It seems that less and less of my influence is being acknowledged, and the purpose I've given unto people seems to be lost. There's a moment where there's a kind of a rattling amongst the mushrooms. It seems like they're almost kind of tense and fear. You feel it's malleable. You could reach out and touch it. It's like the chill that starts at your spine and clings to your bones. And it goes to you and it says, I believe I'm in need of some dire assistance. There is a threat that I need you to go and take care of, to fulfill the purpose I set you on long ago.
Do.
Oh, one more time. It was you want to repeat? My fault. Here, we'll pump you up a little bit. Whoop, go ahead.
What do I need to do?
At this very moment, I need of you to come and find one of my groves. There is one far out east. The name escapes me. I will communicate you with it again when I have that information to give you. For now, know that the event is called the Growing, and I need you to be a part of it.
Ooh, fun.
That is a word you could use for it. It's a good time. Generally, people will bring various drinks and snacks and such. It's like it's a nice little gathering, but that is besides the point. For now, I need you to set out, find what information you can of this event, and seek it out. I've lost my touch to what goes on amongst the world right now, and I need you to be my avatar for the moment. Will you do this for me?
Yes, I will do this.
Thank you. And as you awaken, almost magically, you see crumpled up paper that sits on your lap with a crushed up wax seal on it. It seems like someone's thrown some trash on you.
Wow, rude.
I know, right?
I'm gonna open the paper and see what it says.
You open the paper, and it is that same request that Masozi has written that Pat had, where it describes that they are willing to have an upfront payment and of 250 gold, that they need help looking for a particular item that to meet them over in this location, which it describes as the Sleeping Canary.
This sounds like as good of a place to start as any.
As you gather your things and head on over, we're gonna go ahead and we make our way through the grove, and we find ourselves down into the more humble but slightly seedy parts of Buckler Town. There's a lot of hardworking people who usually work by the port on the that reaches into the Grand Sea down south right over here. There's a lot of people who either live here or are working within here, have to make the commute over to the shopping district, or just generally work at the port. So you see and you smell a lot of the salt water, you smell a lot of the fish, you smell a lot of the produce that come in through Buckler down. Masozi, it is
Yes.
a little earlier in the day. Before even or well, it's a little later in the day, excuse me. um you've had yourself a bit of a sleep in because you couldn't get any rest the other night. What does your morning look like?
Well, I've been staying at the what is it? The Canary, the Sleeping Canary.
Yes.
I slept in at the Sleeping Canary. The name is quite accurate. And after that, I likely woke up, double and triple checked to make sure all of my financials were still present. I tried to get the most secure room in the area. You know, no windows, no, and a good lock on the door, as best I could. You know, as innkeepers, you try to talk to them, get them to help you out as much as you can. Um, then after making sure everything was in its place, I went down, got some food, checked to see if anyone was looking for me during the day. You know, applicants. Probably saw a couple of applicants that were not so great. You know, ruffians that were just trying to take the money and leave. And after, you know, probably talking to a couple of them, giving them the old look up and down, and probably rejecting them, absolutely rejecting them, I probably went to hang out at the inn, um, with my financials probably still secure in my room, you know, locked door, everything like that, hidden in the room probably. Uh, you have to be paranoid sometimes. But then I probably just took a seat in the inn and waited for people to approach me during the day.
Yes, it has been quite a long day. Unfortunately, the when casting your net so wide, you have the result of catching a bunch of fish that unfortunately weren't what you were looking for. You've had a lot of different individuals that had too many questions. You had too many individuals just try and pickpocket you while you were right in front of them. Some just doesn't seem qualified. There was a merfolk that was a juggling jester that thought that you just needed a court jester. From the sound of it, try to make it into a joke. He wasn't a great one. And so you're just kind of exacerbated from repeating the same questions and trying to get out what exactly you've needed and not really trusting anybody that's been coming in so far. um you have you do have a visitor. The bar owner goes ahead and he uh taps you on the shoulder and he goes, "Oi, this gentleman bought you a drink." And he goes ahead and he slides you over a regular looking mug of ale. As you look over and you see a familiar elven face that waves at you from under the hood.
How familiar would you say this person is?
Uh, Not suspiciously familiar. You've been in Aegis not super long. It's been about a couple weeks. During your time here, you found one of the faculty of Bagram College. It is a magical college that sits right outside of the city of Aegis. It is known to hold a lot of the more prestigious uh, wizards and sorcerers that have come from there. He is one of the evocation teachers that kind of isn't a big fan of his job or the museum that resides within inside of the college. Um, you had been discussing with him about one of the particular items inside of the museum, which happens to be a poem about the Infinity Band.
Yes, I remember him. I give him a gentle smile and a little nod of my head, and I take a little sip of the drink he ordered for me.
You take a sip of the drink, and it's that nice, refreshing ale where it's got some of that familiar beer-like taste. It's a little dry. It's drier on the drier side. It's nice and foamy and cool because the bartender keeps it on some ice in order to make sure that all of it stays cold. It's refreshing after a long day of interviewing a bunch of different people.
Lovely. My smile's just a little bit bigger.
And he takes that little bit bigger smile as an invitation as he goes ahead. He pumps his arms and kind of schmoos on over, and he goes ahead and sits, and he puts his head in his hand in his palm and curls his finger around his cheek, and he looks at you and he goes, "So, Zizi, if I may call you that,
Of
how are
course.
you doing?"
I'm doing well enough, trying to interview folks for the quest I have registered. Unfortunately, many think it's a joke, and many others think I'm a fool.
Did Sophilia not come around? I thought that they would come around in order to seek you. I told them to come this way.
I don't believe I've seen them today, unfortunately.
Oh, that is quite unfortunate. Hey, listen, I wanted to give you an update as far as the poem that is got out there. Unfortunately, I was not able to copy it down for you like I had promised that I would. But you know, it is crazy because I tried to talk with the colleagues to kind of work with the museum owner and try and work that out, and it didn't.
And you couldn't even read the thing? You didn't necessarily need to copy it down, you could just say it to me.
Listen, there's a lot of lesson plans I have to do. Do you see the youth now? They have their speaking stones and their flying brooms and all other stuff. Is difficult with a older gentleman like myself to keep up with. It is some things don't stay up here, unfortunately. Also, I've been banned from the museum.
I do a little, like, kind of overly dramatic, sad look. Like, uh, do
I
you
know, but
suppose they could perhaps have a meeting with me to be able to even view such a glorious museum?
you should be all right. I'll try and get you a way in. The museum isn't up yet for the year, as we are still on that weird period where we're coming from summer into fall. So things are being set up, but nothing is set up. Uh,
Of course, and I simply would absolutely love to talk about just how wonderful and glorious this museum and its contents are to the public. And I hope that my opinion would matter in such a situation.
well, if you are as proficient in magics as you say you are, then it would be an honor to have you there, having someone of such royal esteem. What family do you come from again?
Oh, you don't know?
It's not necessarily that I don't know, referencing the head and the brain and not the working. Sometimes it was a bit difficult to come by some records. Not that I was invading any sort of privacy, we have some historians over there. I asked a
Well, of course there wouldn't
historian,
be
hey, I
any.
was like, oh, and then.
Well, of course there wouldn't be any record of it, considering the entire purpose of this is to get my mother into good health so that we may prove the validity of my bloodline.
Right, yes, of course, truly. Right, yes, of
You
course. Yeah,
know
okay.
that bastard would hide anything to cover his tracks.
Yes, I unfortunately have heard the fortunate happenstance of King Olivar's rule. We've had a couple of his refugees come over and try and conscript themselves into the college. We've been attempting to get them sponsored, but unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of money coming in.
Well, I would love to make a donation once I have a little bit more of a backing, you see. Most of my money's gone to my mother's health, but there's only so much you can do when the medics are serving Olivar.
Yes, naturally, he would seem the type to be of making sure that the cream of the crop stays with him, and otherwise, no.
Exactly.
Well, I would suggest this. Give it some time. I
Of
will
course.
try and see if you can get into the museum part of the college. If not, there is apparently there is a back path into the library, which the library is just an archive. The archive is just below the museum.
Well, of course, you know I prefer going the appropriate route. However, times do become desperate, but
I
I
mean,
would very much like to speak to anyone that you could find to perhaps get a viewing at the very least.
I will do my best for you, Zizi, the gorgeous. And you see he kind of like gives a big old sigh and he bats his long elven eyelashes and kind of strokes his wise beard in kind of a weird way. You notice that his overall, like, he's got nicer robe on. You see he's got some embroidery on it that says professor, and it's like this nice white, or excuse me, this nice red robe with like some gold trim. He's got his hair slicked back and he kind of smells like a mixture of oranges and rose water. He smells like a Turkish delight. um and he goes, for now, I will see you upon our next meeting if you still reside within here.
I want to like attempt to like gently touch his forearm in a strictly platonic but kind of like kind way, and give him the old flutter lashes, and feel like I would really appreciate any help on my quest. And then I want to just just lacing in that persuasive goodness.
Why don't you, we'll start off our first roll of everything. Why don't you make me a persuasion roll? And we'll see if something benefits you
Why
later.
would it okay. Well,
Okay, so uh you
maybe it's
you
not
go
platonic on accident.
and you you what happens is right, you you miscalculate where your arm and his arm was. You see that his arm kind of shifts and your arm goes in like to the huge sleeve that is there, and you're touching his bare arm.
Oh no.
You can feel that it's a little more, it's still smoothish, but it's still wrinkly. There's some elasticity to his skin, and his arms are kind of hairy. um as you look up and you bat your eyes before you even realize what's happening, and you see him go, I could stay here forever. That's fine. Why don't I help you interview some of these? I don't have any lessons. I've just been doing lesson planning. Why don't I stay here? I'll stay here. You know what? I will stay here. That is what I will be doing.
You know what? I think that that would be lovely. You can stay for a couple. I wouldn't want to keep too much of your time, of course, since I naturally would very much like that meeting. But you can stay for a couple of them.
Yeah, the meeting can away. I can. It'll be fine. You see that his face is now like clearly, like, under his like lighter bronze complexion. You can see that his face is now like a little red. He's kind of waving himself off, just
I'm going
uh
to take my tankard with both hands gently, and take another sip.
he he very strangely watches you as you drink. Just at that moment, while you're uncomfortably stuck in this position, excuse me for 1 second. Let me get a token on the field. Uh, you see enter the the Canary Inn amongst the hustle, amongst the quieter hours right now, as it's in the middle of the day. Things are lulling down. You see a larger human. Actually, you know what? How about I do this? Gus, excuse me, Pat, as you're the first to walk in, we'll say, why don't you go ahead and describe yourself? And what does Masozi see?
So he is, a larger human gentleman. He kind of looks a little nervous about his surroundings, but he's got a little bit of a man bun going on. His apron is still kind of covered in flour, and he is holding just a little box that might contain a sweet in it.
Oh,
All right. So your tokens are on the field. You can move them as you please. So, Matt, you can go ahead and you look over. So, Pat, as you enter the Sleeping Canary Inn, it's kind of familiar. You've been here a few times resting while you are on this side, helping some of the patrons here. Usually, when you're working on this side, it's a lot of busy work, unfortunately, but it's stuff that gets paid and helps the guild along with the better looking better by helping the community. So you've rested here on some bigger projects and stuff like that. And as you look over, you see regular patrons, and you look over and you see uh, Masozi. Why don't you describe how you look?
so you see someone that is like the dictionary definition of an ASMR. Just complete, like, almost over the top radiance and a nice tall stature. Well, not tall, but tall for the small people. And she's somewhat uncomfortably holding a tankard with both hands and sitting next to an old man that seems quite happy at the moment, with just opalescent hair that flows all the way just down to like her booty, matching opal eyes, like no pupils, just sitting there in a quite nice black and gold dress.
So, much like in your stock anime, you can clearly see who may or may not have sent out the quest. Pat, you are experienced in picking out those who need the help, as you are quite the helpful individual. Um, what do you do?
All right, he's going to make his way over to her and just give her a quick greeting like, "Hey, I'm here about a quest."
Oh, hello. She'll give a little wave. Pleasure to meet you. I am Masozi Chevalier, and this is my good friend. She's gonna like gesture to him, try to get him to talk.
Oh yes, yes. I am a Professor Roman. I go by Professor Roman. That is me. I work at the college. I don't think you need more introduction. What do you do here, you tall, burly individual?
Well, I am from the guild. I just received a missive. I assume this was from you. He
Yes, it was
does
from me.
pull out his guild seal just to confirm who he is, and he hands you the little box, which is just full of fresh baked cookies.
I'm going to open it and pluck one out and take a little nibble, see the quality of the cookie. Little tiny nibble, just in case there's poison, but also, just a polite nibble.
So what I'll do, let's see here, Pat. Um, why don't you go ahead and we'll say Why don't you roll me? Actually, let me take. Do you have proficiency with cooking utensils? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me that and see what the quality of your cookies are?
They're not my best work.
You had some complicated. You really were thinking about Cinna while you were making the cookies. You thought it'd be a quick batch. It didn't turn out to be quick. You had some stuff go around. You found out you were missing some sugar, so it was a little less sugary. So they're very, very average cookies. Like Masozi, you can probably name at least 2 or 3 other places, but it's still a nice gesture, and they're still a little warm, so it's a good time. Um, as you're munching on the cookie and Pat, you're taking your seat, um, Gus, you walk in. Describe yourself.
Or rather, under. I'm very short. Across the room, you see a possum standing on 2 legs, wearing a green cloak and a hat that looks like an ink cap mushroom. And this possum is currently sniffing the air and turns towards you and throws a piece of paper behind her. She scurries over.
I'll immediately take one cookie and offer it, 1 to Roman, and 2, offer 1 to Gus.
Are these cookies?
Yes, of course they are. They're quite delicious.
Gus takes the cookie and it's gone in a flash. There was a reason I was here.
What was that?
Quest! The paper!
Yes.
Gus scurries over, picks up the paper. Someone threw this on me. Is this your paper?
Yes, that is my paper. I'm looking for an item of great importance to me.
Hey, me too. Kind of.
Lovely. Well, of course, as you both read on the paper, I am offering a significant sum, probably only to 2 individuals, to get some assistance in my search for the object. I only have some rumors at the moment to go off of. Why don't you tell me about yourselves?
Why don't we? We'll go ahead and we'll start with Gus. You see, so you go ahead. Masozi poses this question to you. How do you respond?
I study the forces of nature, and I am good with mushrooms. And I do some magic with mushrooms.
Fascinating. Would you say that your travels thus far have been fairly simple? Or have you overcome many obstacles? Or have you been defeated by many obstacles?
I've mostly just been looking for a giant mushroom, so
That is fair. Would you be able to find time in your busy mushroom search to help me? I surely
absolutely.
will help you in your own various goals. I just need this object before I can truly help anyone.
I'd love to help.
And you, big fellow, you said your name was Pat, yes? Or did you not introduce yourself yet?
He kind of looks up and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Pat. I'm sort of the go-to guy at the guild down the way. Um, right now I'm actually currently looking for someone myself, so I feel like getting out there doing a quest that might be able to give me some information that I'm looking for. But
Of,
I'm more than happy to put most of my focus on what you need."
of course, and the moment I have what I need, I am fully willing to offer you, both of you, my assistance or whatever resources I can allocate for your own journeys. I understand how important things can be to others and how important it is to take care of those you care for and those who help you. The initial payment, of course, is 250 gold pieces, if you both would be interested. She gives both of them a kind of a sharp, scrutinizing gaze, just really, trying to see, the truthfulness, the truth behind them, how whether or not they're trying to manipulate or they don't seem skeezy. And she saw Pat's Adventurers Guild insignia, of course.
So you can. So I'm not even gonna make a roll for it or any insight or anything. You can. It's honestly quite refreshing. The genuine nature with which they asked to join you. It's been a while since you've had anybody actually propose you in that sort of way, or address you in that kind of way, since you've left Enenro. Um, uh, Professor Roman leans over to you and he goes, "Are you seriously going to take help from a baker and some sort of striped rat skunk?"
Masosi's gonna pat his shoulder and be like, never judge a book by its cover. I know that that's what my father unfortunately enforces in this culture. It's frustrating to say the least. But everyone has their value, no matter what race, age, or creed. So, try not to look down upon those who come and offer their help. She's saying it in a kind way, but she's also like, don't be rude.
Okay, all right, if you say so. But if I start having holes in my nice gown, I'm going to blame my, excuse me, not gown, a robe. It says a robe. My professor robe. If I start having holes in it, I'm blaming that one. And he goes ahead and he kind of points a long, insinuating, rude finger at Gus. Or that one if I get any flour on me. And he goes ahead and points at Pat.
Masosi's going to kind of do a little like gentle tap on the table with her hands and looks to the two of them and is like, well, I really appreciate your offers for help. Let me go get your payment really fast and I'll return shortly. She's very much trying to interrupt Roman's train of thought and go somewhere else and then come back with the money.
So now, as you leave the table, Gus, Pat, and Professor Roman are just kind of sitting awkwardly at the table, and the Roman looks over at the both of you, goes, "So, ooh, I don't know how to do this properly. Do you like? Do you want a drink? Maybe. Do you drink?"
Nothing for me. I would rather keep my mind clear right now.
Her flask and offers it to him. No, you will drink what I have.
I have to drink what you have.
Unless you don't want to. That's fine.
What do you have?
It's shroom juice.
Shroom juice. Can you juice mushrooms?
That's just kind of
Well,
like,
I
is
can.
it like steeping a tea? I mean, I could get behind this. That would make some good food.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I
There's tequila involved.
Did you say there's tequila involved?
Yes.
Listen, I don't want to recall my times on the Paradiso Islands. I had one too many shots of tequila. There became an issue with my my now ex-wife at the time. It was. I don't. It's. I mean, tequila doesn't sound too bad. I mean, you know what? You drive a hard bargain, striped skunk lady. Why don't you keep? I think so. I think so.
Gus hands him the flask.
he he goes ahead and he kind of peers into the glass and he knocks it back. What happens as he knocks it back?
Uh, it is just like straight tequila. Doesn't even taste like mushrooms.
You see, he kind of. Oh my goodness! Where did you even get this? This tastes like crazy hooch.
Yeah, it's been there a while.
A bit like you've been making this.
Something like that.
So really, it's just moonshine. that Gus thinks is tequila.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So he takes this and this burning sensation comes through. When like heat is in the air and it kind of distorts your vision. You see that is happening with how potent the alcohol is, Pat. Um as Professor Roman was expecting, a nice, nuanced tequila that may have had some mushroom notes is straight whatever you can find in a Buckler Grove alcohol juice. I'm not sure where Gus got a distilling kit, but they did, and they used it um, to success, which is now Professor Roman is sloshed.
That'll teach you to point at me.
You know what? This is a real and dangerous thing, especially though a professor of the arch. And you see that he kind of like starts to nod off.
I think
Uh,
I should be about done getting the money.
all right, cool. So you go ahead and you rush up and you go and you have a little secret hiding space even within the room just to double triple make sure nothing goes awry. Um and you come back and you see Gus looking triumphant as Professor Roman is face first on the table with some. As soon as you walk over to sit back next to in your previous seat, you just smell alcohol. Like it's just burning sensation. If you had any nose hair, it's not there anymore. You can breathe clearer than you ever have. It was like Vicks on crack.
Oh dear. I can sort of see what happened. Who gave him the rubbing alcohol?
Gus quickly puts her flask away.
Oh dear.
So,
I suppose
so
we're gonna have to get him
I
a room.
Guys, why don't you go ahead and make me a stealth check, and Masozi make me a perception check.
First. Wow. She sees nothing.
You could, you go and you think to yourself, "Oh my goodness, did I leave my special alcohol out and give it to him? Is there something else that I have done?" You somehow gaslight yourself into thinking that you were the one who had done it. And so you're like, "Oh my goodness, my only opportunity to get into the museum is out cold when I need them right now."
there's gonna be just a little bit of a flare of genuine annoyance in my eyes, and I'm gonna be like, does anyone know any tricks for getting someone sober, or are we going to just need to wait this out for him?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Pat, do you have any clues? You've been around town, you've seen the drunks. How do you fix this? Does he just need a rest, or?
I mean, starchy foods if you're still awake, but he is down for the count.
Oh dear. Well, it looks like we're going to have some time to get to know each other as I get him a room and let him rest for however long it takes. I'll leave him a note saying, you know, that he had one too many, and to let me know when he awakens. Find me in town or what have you. I'll try to go to the barkeep and get him a room.
Okay, so you go over to the barkeep and you go ahead and you organize for Roman to go ahead and stay an evening in one of the rooms. He goes ahead and he just kind of looks at you and he looks over at Roman and he kind of gives you a little wink as he goes ahead and he just says, "I'll add another night to your room, half off. Don't worry about it. I get it."
Thank you, dear. And then uh I'm gonna just accept whatever he says. Surely this will be a interesting conversation to have with Roman tomorrow. I'll return to the group and be like, well, I don't believe I can carry him. I can try to assist in carrying him. He looks completely out. I don't
Yeah,
think he's gonna
Pat's
walk.
quick to volunteer.
All right, Pat, you eat your green beans. Uh, Professor Roman, being an older, frailer elf, isn't anything new. You've had to carry old grannies out of the trees they've gotten themselves into after their cats put in a request. So you went ahead and you grab onto Professor Roman. You go ahead and just kind of plop him right onto one of the beds, and he's that Family Guy pose where he's got
Oh, you're kind of cutting out right now.
an arm behind. Okay. How about now?
Sounds better.
All right, cool. Sorry about that. My internet just has to do the wave occasionally. Um, but so you go ahead and you test him onto the bed, and he's out cold onto it, and you quickly return back to Masozi so that way they can go ahead and explain.
Well, wait, I definitely tucked him in.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm gonna
so
leave
how?
the cookies next to him. And the note, of course. And maybe a
Okay,
glass of water.
so you go ahead, Pat. You go and you set him up straight, and you get the covers over him and the blanket, and you tuck him nice in, and make sure his robe is inside, so that way he's nice and warm. Masozi, you go ahead and you ask for a glass of water. You put it by with the cookies, and you have like a little like firmer note card because you've been making all of those papers to set out the request, and you go ahead and leave a note that pretty much just says, "Hey, when not drunk, find me." And Gus says where this is happening is a breakdancing on the table, it seems,
As one does.
as one can. She's right now busting it down, goaded with the sauce. Uh, so you guys go ahead, and it's now just you three.
I want to say thank you, Pat. I appreciate it. My friend can be a little overzealous and also a little confused at times. So, yeah, he still thinks he's young. He's a older gentleman, so you know how they can be.
That I do. Don't worry about it. That's something that I am quite used to. Like I said, I'm the go-to guy. I am the muscle, so if they need a job done for the heavy lifting, it's usually me.
And Gus, thank you for at least entertaining him while I went and got your payment. Oh, that reminds me. And then she's gonna grab the the two somewhat large, I'm guessing. I don't know how big these coin purses would be. Coin purses, and hands one to Pat and one to Gus. Since they made such a good impression on me.
So Pat and Gus, you go ahead and just as Miss Ozzy promised, there's the 250 gold that sits right in front of you. But I would like to know that they're still in the dark about what's going on.
Oh yes, would you like some extra details on the quest that I have requested? Get it? Of you?
Yes, that would help a lot.
I know what I'm doing.
Yes, so unfortunately, someone I care very dearly about is quite ill. I'm looking for an item that supposedly can help her. I don't have a lot of information on it, but I do know that there are poems that supposedly lead to this item. And I'm kind of saying this pretty low, just in case there's anyone trying to eavesdrop. This clearly is very important. Like,
So yeah, so you're kind of speaking in hushed tones as you kind of describe what's going on. So there's not a lot of people with prying ears or eyes that necessarily care. So you're good to speak, obviously, a little on the lower side, but you don't have to necessarily worry about anything at the moment.
yes, and one of the poems, the only one that I've been able to ascertain where it is in the museum where Professor Roman is employed. He's told me of two options, one of which I would much prefer, as I don't really enjoy the concept of breaking the law, to simply look at a poem in a museum. The museum isn't open yet, so I have been trying to get a viewing arranged, but Roman can be a bit forgetful at times. I've asked him to look at it for me and repeat it to me. I've asked him to write it down. He's good natured, but forgetful. Of course, the viewing is the best option, but he did mention a back door to the museum that could be an option as well. And as I said, I'm not entirely enthusiastic about such a concept.
Yes, I don't think breaking and entering would reflect well on the guild.
FBI, open up!
There is a possibility that maybe I could show them my guild symbol and we could work something out there. I'm more than happy to do some work for them if necessary.
Yes, I'm trying to get a meeting with the organizers of the museum, but I have to wait for Roman to get me into contact with them. But we can always try to visit ourselves. The college is just right nearby as well. What do you think, Gus? What what do you think we should do?
I've never been much to respect the law because of the law, but being in jail is inconvenient.
Yes, that would be quite unfortunate for any of us to be in jail. I would like to avoid that at all cost. But yes, so it seems we either have some free time on our hands while we wait for Roman, or we can try to go in ourselves and speak to the individuals at the college.
I
All right.
think it would do well to make yourself known.
Yes, I think that might be a good idea. So we can hope that Roman stays in good health, and if you two would like to accompany me, I would very much appreciate it. Oh, by the way, of course, I'm going to be joining you on the quest for this item. It's far too important for me to simply leave it to the winds and not be willing to shed some blood, tears, and sweat to get to it.
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty. So, Pat and Gus have officially accepted Wasozi's quest to find this magical item, or at least find this clue that resides within the museum of the college. Uh, from my understanding, it sounds like you all are going to be waiting out for Professor Roman to wake and sober up.
I think we were actually going to go to the college ourselves and try to like make our presence known and try to talk to people ourselves since Roman is a bit forgetful.
All right. So, is that so? All right. So you guys are all gonna group up and then head over to the museum yourself.
I believe that's the plan.
Yep.
Is that all right? Cool beans. So you're gonna go ahead and leave Professor Roman behind. He's all set. He's in the room. And Pat and Gus, you can go ahead and add 250 gold to your inventory. Um, as now you're that many shmoneys richer. So where let me just get y'all grouped together. All right, perfect. So, uh, along the way, you go ahead and you cut through some of the residencies that are surrounding Buckler Grove. You uh, leave out just before the gates. I would like you all to make a perception check for me as you approach. Uh, okay, so Pat, you're still reeling from the scent of the hooch. Gus, you are taking baby sips of the hooch. Uh, Masozi, as you're walking through, uh, you see uh, what is familiar to you. These long, one individual in a long royal blue robe. The robe is familiar, I should specify. That has silver trim, and next to them seems to be a rather astute and educated looking individual. They have more noble or fancier clothing on, some stripes, fancy shoes, that whole getup. They have glasses on, and they seem to be holding some books as they themselves are also walking to the college. And the reason why this is important is because you recognize the robe is from uh, the oh my goodness, brain fart. This is why we write things down. Da, 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 from the Magus Association. So you know that to be it's publicly known that they are some of the most highest powered mages out there. They generally deal with, if you see them around, they're generally dealing with something important. Otherwise, they're trying to make breakthrough studies. So to see him here is kind of a big thing. Um, as you're listening in, and you notice that, um, you kind of catch some of their conversation. If you want more, you can try and walk a little closer to them. But you just got to be careful about being seen. So if you do, I'd like a stealth check.
I'm not confident in being all that stealthy. Huh. I don't think the big man is very good at being stealthy either. Um, Gus, would there be
What?
any way that you could, quietly get closer to them? I know some of your skill set druids can, potentially transform into creatures that might be, a little bit more benign, that won't go noticed quite as easily.
Try.
I would certainly appreciate if you did that, and just relay what they're talking about to me, if you could.
All right. So you go ahead, and as you ask this of Gus, you see that they kind of have a swarm of mushrooms kind of grow up and off of them. And as you see that wave of mushroom dissipate, what animal do we see before us?
I think I can turn into a rat, right?
Absolutely. A rat works.
All right, a rat.
All right. Why don't you? Let me see here. All right. Let me pull up that for you. All right. So you're going to try and stealth in, correct? Hello?
Can we hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'm gonna try and stealth it.
All right. Because of the quick thinking, I'm going to give you advantage on this. So it's going to be a stealth check. Ooh. All right. So hiding yourself in some of the foliage up and out of the college. And since you're more familiar with the greenery of the air, you're able to swim and flim through. You kind of feel like uh, that they had eyes on you for a moment, for just a moment, but they continue on with their conversation regularly. And this is what you hear. So the magus leans over and he goes, um, they I'm not sure if we need to send in the rest of the guild. I feel like this is a bit much for the mages to get involved in. And the other goes, well, I wouldn't be involving you really, but a lot of things have gone missing recently. We're trying to set up for the museum. couldn't you just have someone come in and do inventory? I mean, we've tried 3 or 4 times and we're missing a lot of things. We've had to shut down in order to compensate for the time we've needed, and school starts in a bit of a week. We need the museum up and running. The mage just turns over and he goes, do you have anything in particular that's gone missing? Oh, it's like, well, we have a pearl of power go missing. We've had a bag of holding go missing. We've had one of our rarest artifacts actually go up in smoke. And he goes, and the mage just turns back around and he goes, oh, please don't tell me you don't mean. And you see the glassed individual nod slowly as they go, unfortunately, the poem's gone missing. I'm unsure of where it is. We've tried looking and scouring everywhere for that thing. We don't know where it went. We need you to find it. Currently, it's under investigation. Somehow they gotten through the archives. We thought to have that shut, but apparently they busted it open. And the mage just, you see him exacerbated. He goes ahead and he pinches the bridge of his nose and he goes, if it's of that importance, I'll see if I can get Vincent on it, but I'm not sure if he's free at the moment. You know how he can be. Otherwise, I'll try and send some people in. But for now, work with local authorities. Work with the guard that we have over there. Just try and make something of it. Find that. It's important and paramount that stays with the college. And that's the conversation you hear.
I'm going to return to my friends here and relay the information.
All right, cool. So you go ahead and you rattle off that bunch of stuff. The museum part of the college has gone missing, and that they currently have the guild he's currently attempting to have the guild look at it, but right now local authorities are taking a look at it. It's pretty much the gist of the conversation that he relays onto you, Masozi and Pat.
When Masozi hears that the poem is one of the missing items, you guys can kind of see her face tense and look a little bit stressed, like visible, just unhappy. Well, I don't know if it would be better to offer our help directly to the guild or to the guard. I don't know which will get us better results ultimately.
Pat's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, we've got our in, but if the item you're looking for isn't there.
Yeah, well, this is quite the unfortunate series of events that I've learned. Perhaps we can offer our assistance to both. We can go a venture forward and try to subtly get information from the guild. Maybe we can even use your association with the Adventurers Guild to explain how we know that anything has gone missing. Maybe say, oh, I overheard it from the guards, or there's a contract in the Adventurers Guild, some such like that. Rumors, maybe? I don't know. Tell them that we want to help them, and then they'll probably either tell us that they need help or they'll send us to the guard to get approval to help, I imagine.
Well, I don't think that we need to necessarily say most of that. I think I can just get away with telling them, "Hey, I'm from the guild. I noticed that you guys are working hard over here. Do you need any help?"
That actually would be quite lovely. We can speak to both then, or just start off with one. I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled, admittedly, from hearing about this. I trust your judgment in this. This is part of
No,
why
give
I
yourself
need.
some time to react.
Yeah, this is part of why I needed adventurers to come and help me, is because I am so emotionally attached to getting this item that it can be a little challenging. So yes, in a moment we can go speak to them. Can I have a moment to get my thoughts in order?
Of course.
And we're gonna take just a quick break just so Kay can take care of a couple of things. Good segue.
All right, sounds good.
And
I have that power.
uh yeah, so we can honestly even just do a little bit of out of character banter and chatting, unless folks want to go to the bathroom, get drinks, snacks, etc., etc.
Absolutely, I think some RP, if others are willing, would be nice. At the moment, I just need to be right back. I just got to check out a couple things, so I will be right back.
Yeah, and Masozi's gonna like take a moment to like step away and kind of stare off, maybe cross her arms a little bit and just, let herself experience her feelings.
I require a minute to figure out why my dog is barking. And
Pat's just gonna plop down and kind of look over a list of ingredients that he needs to pick up still.
So we will take a little bit of a break, but can we just talk about Roman? I love and hate him at the same time. Uh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
Pat's not really sure how he feels about him, but
Like,
he's not gonna just set someone on top of a bed. He's definitely gonna tuck anyone in.
yeah. Masozi has like a little bit of knowledge about him. And like, he clearly is like a sweet old man, but he's also kind of an idiot, and she really doesn't want to tell him that he's an idiot, but but he drank mysterious mushroom tequila from a possum.
I mean, listen, there are a lot of characters that I play as that would have taken that immediately.
God.
Paxton just has to make sure that, he is representing the guild the right way.
Yeah, and Masozi really is trying to represent herself in a good way. But goddamn, sometimes that man. I think honestly we have to give props to Kay for doing pretty awesome voices. I know I'm not good at voice acting, so it's really awesome hearing an awesome voice acting thing.
I agree. I cannot do a gruff man's voice, so you're all stuck with that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to make Masozi sound kind of regal. Hello. Water. Thank you. I've been handed water.
I don't need water. I've got Pocari sweat.
He was trying to intimidatingly walk backwards and he bumped into the wall. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 move for fight.
Who you talking shit to?
I'm talking to Rafe, Lysander-ish, and K is AFK. Lysander-ish is also AFK.
Man, fuck. I'm kidding. Fuck is all that?
Oh, that's the map to the town we're in. What?
Yeah, what's good?
Yeah, Rafe's pinging the map.
That's cousin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, now that we're on a AFK break, thank you again so much, Blaze, for the raid. I'm gonna give you a shout out now.
I'm just saying, I would absolutely
Blaze
fucking
SMD
hate
says
my
Golden
life.
Rune
I live
messed up this
right
tune.
there.
Collect him soon from the grave site, you run.
I lived
Wait,
right
right
Throughout
where?
the
there.
Dang
night,
it.
no need to
Oh, no,
fight.
Right there.
Always a
But I-
goon
He
with
doesn't
Golden
want to live
Rune.
there.
I don't want no.
Well,
Here, this one, right here.
I don't know why, but it worked when I
There.
did it.
Yeah, kind of like right where
Like,
the gates
Absolutely fucking, absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah, right there in that corner house. Apparently, Fight would lose his mind if he lived there. It would
are. This is
be
where I live,
horrible. Where do you live?
Hmm?
Ooh.
in the Guild District. I assume.
Masozi lives in Anenrum, but she's not at home right now.
Yeah, right now she lives at the inn.
Yeah. And apparently she's sharing a room with Roman, damn it. poor Masozi. Oh my god. The first persuasion roll, and it's a natural one. I'm fucking dying. Just, I want to platonically touch his arm and, bat my eyelashes to get him to, do it faster. Accidentally grabs it, just under the sleeve, grabs his forearm and
And it's
turns it
just-
into like basically a seduction
Who
thing.
did that? Who did that?
Me.
Point. Who? You? The words escape your lips.
I'm so upset.
you try to do the, and it came out like.
My god. Oh my god.
I was what is it? I was sitting in on a D&D session one time, and what is it? And then like this was like my entire shop, right? Well, dude was just like, "Hey, toss me a dagger." And he was like, "Okay," and he goes like this, and like to make the motion, and then Norman goes, "Hold up, what are you doing?" He's just like, "I'm gonna throw my dagger at him." He was like you're gonna attack him?
Oh no.
and he goes like, "Yeah, what else am I supposed to do?" I was like, "I don't know, toss it."
Underhand gentle toss with the sheath still
But
on.
anyways, he fucking he's just like, "No, I want to throw it overhanded, blade pointing down, like I'm throwing it at him."
Oh my
And he goes like,
guy.
"Do a dexterity roll," and then he goes like this. 1, and he goes like, "Oh my god!" And he's just like, "All right, so as Martin calls out to you, toss me your knife. You reach into your boot, take the dagger, and try to toss it at him, and you stab yourself in the foot. And it deals 1 damage."
Directly down into your own fucking foot.
And then he says, "Can I voice act my fucking mistake?" And he goes like, "Go for it." Ow.
That reminds me of the best character from Half-Life, Alex.
I have a brain injury.
My brain is injured. Also, K exploded for a second. I'm sure he'll be back shortly. But yeah,
You should ask
super...
Kay if he wants to play Guilty Gear eventually.
I mean, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, but you talk to him more actively.
Mostly about D&D.
You talk
have
to
faith.
everyone more than me, actually.
Excuse you.
I mean, that seems like a personal problem. Self-inflicted.
That's rude.
How many friends do I have?
More than me, technically.
Hey, look, you already outnumber me.
No. But
Oh,
no.
wait a minute, 3. Yeah, you dwarfed me by 1.
You're a dork. Damn.
Because you talked to, what is it? Greek cousins count as friends?
I don't know. What do you say, Rafe? Do cousins count as
Like, I
friends?
would consider you my friend, but there are some cousins that I don't consider my friends,
Okay,
so
so
I'm gonna say
I
yes.
count as a friend. You're not helping me, but I appreciate it.
Alright, then let's also talk about fucking Rafe. There's Lysandra, she's also that is also your friend.
To be fair, most of the people you're listing, I don't really talk to that much because I'm very much antisocial.
Every time I will glance at you, you're messaging one of them.
No, I'm usually looking up D&D stuff, honestly.
And
I'm usually just browsing D&D articles
all right,
and
now,
things.
let's say that this is like your friend circle, right?
Uh-huh.
You have 5. GG.
And your military friend.
That's 3.
And
My
K.
soldiers,
K counts. K is your friend.
my soldiers also don't count.
That's not your soldier anymore. He got a promotion.
Ooh.
Oh, K's back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I
Ask him if
had
he's gonna
some
get Street Fighter 6.
tendings.
Are you gonna get Street Fighter 6?
My gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, wonderful wife is going to be has pre-ordered it for
It's
me.
pre-ordered for him
So
by his
Let's
wonderful,
go, this
amazing,
Friday!
gorgeous wife. Okay.
This Friday,
I will.
or whenever he's
Yes,
available.
yes.
He said yes.
No, we'll try for this Friday.
Lysandrish, have you returned?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. Do we want to continue? Okay, are you all done with your stuff? He might not be. That would be unfortunate. He might have just reconnected. Or his internet's having an aneurysm again.
Same. Not about the internet.
Talking about him fighting against me and his internet shuttered at the thought.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hello?
You're back?
I believe I am.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. I need to throw hands at my provider. All right. So I'm good to start up again. If everyone else is good to start up again.
I know I am. Lysandrish and Rafe?
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Masozi took a moment to settle her feelings down and is looking about ready to follow Pat's lead because Pat has the cred to talk to the college folks.
Out of the house, it sounded like you said
Oh,
pass.
all right. So, you're going to go inside of the
Not sorry.
museum and see if you can go ahead and schmoove your way in there.
Kinda sorta. You'll see what Pat has planned.
Okie dokie. So what are you guys going to do at this very moment?
So
Um,
Pat is going to approach the first person that he can see who looks to be in charge.
So that would be the gentleman on the right. The gentleman on the right, you tap his shoulder and he looks up at you and he goes, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't have any pamphlets with me, but please do visit the museum once we're able to open it up. It's just running into some difficulties."
Yeah, I was wondering about that. It seemed like things kept getting pushed back. I come from the Adventurers Guild. Was there anything that we could do to help you?
Ah, yes. I thought I already had someone taking a look from your guild. Had something happened to them?
I don't believe we received any word, but I
That's
could
true.
be mistaken.
That is strange. I thought I had a cavalier swing by, or at least I think that was the lady's name. I mean,
Well, I am here now, and he does show off his guild symbol.
so you go ahead and you. I imagine it's like when someone goes LAPD or
Yeah.
letter PD, and it's just like yeah, Pat, uh, AGPD,
I'm a level 2 adventurer.
uh, and he goes ahead and he looks over at it, and you see the Magus associate steps in, and he goes, I believe we will be taking this from here. I don't think it's necessary for you to be here." And you see um the the museum owner goes, "No, no, no, no. You will need some time to get who you need to get to track them down. If we have an individual here now to take care of it, that's what I would prefer. I thought we had someone here, but I'll look into that when the time comes. So do you understand? You should have everything. Do you need a rundown? Is everything all right?
Um. Well, Pat doesn't have the information right now, does he? Like he knows what he overheard, but well, what Gus overheard, but he doesn't actually.
No, you weren't given this one specifically or directly, or you didn't pluck it off the guild board, so you don't know anything beyond the information that Gus was able to pluck.
All right, so he's just like, give me the refresher. Just make sure that it's straight in my mind.
Yes. Well, so about a week ago, well, how long has it been? Like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were getting ourselves prepped up as we are currently on summer break. We're transitioning ourselves into the autumn. And as of course, as autumn rolls around, we have our museum. We open up to the public. It brings in more revenue. It allows us to go ahead and pay for what we need. Unfortunately, Witlist or some of our inventory managers were looking through. They had noticed some very important things missing. Uh, a pearl of power, a bag of holding, and of utmost importance, if you are able to find it, uh, the first poem of infinity. It is paramount that at least we have some sort of information we can go off from that. If not, I am unsure of what that could potentially mean. That leads to a very, very powerful and in the wrong hands dangerous artifact.
Certainly don't want that getting in the wrong hands then.
No, unless you want someone who could potentially become a lich to come out. It'd be it's it's complicated. It's been something that's been happening all over, and you see as starts to speak, you see the mage elbows him, and he goes, "Find out what you can, and please report it back to me, or anybody you see in a similar robe will be hanging around, will be around the town, will be around the city, and Aegis will probably be over in Kite Town, since that's a a little bit more pleasant." Or you know what? Castle Aegis. I'll be in Castle Aegis. If you need me, find me. Castle Aegis.
All right, I appreciate it. I will give this my full attention.
Is well then I guess I'll head off. I need to go perform some shopping and come back and maybe take this off my mind. And then the wizard goes and he leans over to you, Pat, and he kind of whispers in your ear and he goes, "Please don't mess this up. The ramifications of this item in the wrong hands are far worse than what he's letting on. Don't fail. And he goes ahead and you see him walk back down the path over to the castle.
All right. Do I have permission to go into the museum then?
So the museum owner or the overseer, he goes ahead and he would have given you a little badge and tacked it onto your on your little adventure guild badge, a little something so that way it allows you access through the college into the museum.
Okay.
So we'll say that's happening over here, and you guys are a little behind over here. That works. Okay. So with that in mind, what are you guys doing at the moment?
I'm gonna be looking at Pat to did we get a relay of the information yet or no? Or were we all like
Oh.
standing near each other?
I would say that it was probably you guys were within the vicinity of another, or if anything, Pat would have relayed you anything you didn't hear.
Yeah, I would have relayed that information.
Okay, so what do you think the first steps would be for us to retrieve these items?
I'm wondering if it's in our best interest to go and check out the museum, see if there's maybe someone saw something that they can't explain or
Do you
something
believe
similar to
they'll
that.
let us in?
He's like, "Yeah, I got a token. I'm good to go now."
Okay, I'm not terribly good at tracking, but I'm sure I can help try to help at least figure out some information, get some information from people. See if we can maybe track down whoever took these things.
All right. So you guys are heading over to the museum in college then?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
As long as Gus is cool with it too.
Gus, are you on board of this, or are we engaging in shenanigans?
Yeah, we should take a look. And if we don't find anything, we can do a stakeout.
I don't think a stakeout has steaks, but I can maybe procure us some if you'd like. I don't know. What do you eat?
Pat is super bummed out that the stakeout does not involve steaks.
Mostly I eat mushrooms.
Are you a mushroom-tarian or vegetarian? Do you eat meat too? I don't. I'm sorry.
Mushrooms are just easier to catch than animals.
That is fair. Perhaps if we do have a stakeout, I will purchase some steaks for us. Let us go.
so it was written that the stakeout will involve steaks.
If it comes to a stakeout, but you know,
If it comes to a stakeout, if the stakes rise, there will be steak
yes.
as the stakes rise. So you guys, my brain. If you guys, so you guys go ahead and you follow up the dirt road, and the guards allow you through the gate. It's one of the more frequent ones. They go ahead and just wave you on through. As you approach the college and museum, you see that is this large blue building that the roofs almost radiate. As soon as you enter here, you can feel the amount of magic that just surrounds this college, let alone the individuals that practice and learn here. Um, you all enter. Um, you all are faced with this building. As Pat, you approach, you see that there's a blocked off area. Um, the guards approach you. They try and talk with you. Be like, "Hey, look, listen. we're kind of under some investigation right now. We're kind of looking into some stuff. Why don't you come back? But then you go ahead and you flash in, you're like AGPD, and they go ahead and they let you on through. However, they do mention that they had someone, uh, Calvary come in earlier, and she should still be down there, but um, they haven't heard from her in a while.
All right, so that seems to be the place where we need to go.
Yes, so you go ahead and you kind of they had like some cloth blocking off the museum, kind of like curtains in like a play, some just like giant big old blue curtains blocking off that had opening soon on it, with a little sign on it that said closed for construction, where the guards stand in front of it.
Renovations.
Yeah, for renovations. Yeah, they you walk in to this museum, and you see it is a menagerie of various different things. You see that there is a section that involves botany and plants. There's a little special area of mushrooms. You see that there is a section on the languishing. Um, Pat, you would know about it because most humans are taught about it on an early age. Um, the languishing is the spread of this thing called the shroud that infected the original land that humans lived in. Um, that the continent gets its name from, as well as the event. Um, that's why a lot of human civilizations are mobilized. They're used to moving around, so they're generally nomadic. Aegis is one of the few cities that decided to plant themselves and go against that. So that's why usually people from Aegis are kind of given a little weird look that they're not mobile. But beyond that, there's not much besides it was a tragic event and kind of the gist of what the shroud does, which is just kind of consume stuff. Um, and then there's various other knickknacks and stuff, general stuff. There's not really much that looks to be deserved in that, but as you get into the magical section, that's where things start to look dirty and damaged. So you enter in, and it just looks ransacked. There are various stands and pylons and stuff like that that were erected that are either crashed or bashed through. There's various magic items that seem lesser. There's just some generic potion displays that are kind of strewn along the ground now, and some other displays of other magical items that do exist in the world, like some foci and some wands and cloaks and stuff like that. As you enter, you're now given the ability to do as you please in this area. What do you guys do?
All right, well, I'm going to try to investigate, see if there's anything that I can see offhand.
I don't know how good my investigation is, but I can either like try to help with it or do it myself.
So in that case, so what I'll do. So does everyone know how the help mechanic works?
I can look at it right now. I have this awesome handy dandy thing that our wonderful DM gave us.
I wonder who that is. To explain it real quick, uh, out of combat, it gives advantage to a check. In combat, it's an action you can use to give advantage to the next person that swings on the enemy you're currently distracting. Whenever you do the help action, I do ask to explain how you're helping. So that way it's not just, I help with this.
Yeah, so I think how I would help is just really kind of giving my own insight into things and like I know it's not a perception check, but like kind of helping noticing anything that's out of the ordinary or anything of note. Like, two eyes are better than one.
That makes sense to me. So what I'll let you do, Pat, then is I'll let you re-roll the investigation roll at advantage with Masozi's help.
Okay. Oh. Perfect.
Yo.
Wunderbar. I'll get back to you. Gus, are you doing anything to aid in the search at the moment?
Right now, I'm just kind of sniffing around and looking at things.
Do you want to make an investigation check yourself then?
Yes.
All right, go right ahead. Dang,
Damn.
Nice.
that sniffer sniffing. That sniffer's working. All right. This is what I'm going to give you guys. So as you see, uh, there is a display that has a plaque on it that says the common bag of holding or the uncommon bag of holding. It kind of explains what it does. One for the pearl of power. Um, explains what that does. So pretty much bag of holding. It allows a space that you're able to store anything in, and it feel almost feel weightless. So you're able to place almost anything in there. There's a warning that says, "Please do not place living things in a bag of holding or another bag of holding in a bag of holding, as you could potentially destroy not only the living things but also reality as we know it." Um, and then there's the Pearl of Power, which
Oh, you're cutting out, Jay. I mean, you're cutting out, Kay.
oh no, that one was intentional.
Okay, sorry.
No, no worries. I appreciate it. Um, and it goes ahead and it says, I'll give you the mechanical description of it. It says, while this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain one expended spell slot. Fourth level or higher. The new slot is third level. Once you have used the pearl, cannot be used again until next dawn. And it just kind of goes into how this is a very useful item for most spellcasters because of what it can do. Um, and then you see the empty and destroyed plaque that just says "Poem of Infinity," and what the usual description is below has been like blown out essentially. Um, what you do find is these things. So Gus, you sniff out um a glove. You sniff out a glove that has a common insignia on it. It seems that it is signed. It is signed. Urgox. You see, it's signed Urgok. Um, on that glove. Pat and Masozi, you guys are able to find like this kind of real snazzy staff that has R and B written in cursive on it. Um, and what you guys can recognize from that, so Pat, you're able to recognize both of those. The glove is from Gurgok's, um, or excuse me, Urgok's general store. They have a general store over by Port Aegis. Um, they sell generic things there, anything that you kind of need. Nothing super crazy about that. And then the staff, the R&B, you've only seen some of the more posh adventurers have it. That's from Ritz and Bits Fits. Over in the shopping district. Um, they have it's got the nice regalness to it. Um, and you also find a little raindrop shape card that is lying on the ground.
Well, I'm gonna pick that up.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and you scoop it up, and there's not really much to it besides this raindrop image.
Is it like holographic? Can you like wiggle the card and does the raindrop look 3D?
It's not that fancy.
Okay.
It's just they whoever got this, they're a very simple individual. It's a common couple ink strokes with some blue ink in the middle. That's about it.
Well, that could be a calling card, pardon my pun, of a criminal or criminal organization. Does it seem magical at all, or a?
Uh, it seems very mundane. You can roll Arcana if you want.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, just to make extra sure. I did not do well. I rolled a
Eh,
9, I think.
it's yeah, that's a 9. It's durable parchment. It's got a raindrop on it.
That's a
Hey,
durable piece of parchment.
that's about it. The magic of technology is really all you notice. That's about it.
So I uh don't think I recognized anything in particular. Pat and Gus, do we have any leads to follow?
So Pat and Gus, uh, you can go ahead and make some. I'll say some history checks. Actually, so Pat, have you lived in Aegis all your life?
No, he came from somewhere else.
Right. You came
But he
from.
moved here.
Yes. Have you been here? How long have you been residing within Aegis?
I would say probably about 10 years.
Okay, so you've been around for a fair bit. Um, Gus, what about you? How long have you been in Aegis? I know you aren't from that. I do know that you aren't from here.
Just a couple of months at this point.
Okay, so then what I'll say is Pat. Um, Pat, you can roll a history check. Um, Gus, if you'd like, you can most definitely roll a history check. I would say at disadvantage. So, Gus, it's nothing's coming to mind as you're squinting at it. Um, Pat, I'll give you a little more insight. You have heard of this calling card appearing before, uh, like around 5 years ago. You don't remember specifically who or what it was, but this person isn't new to the area. I'll say that much. Um, the other thing that you guys find, um, you see a blood trail leading down a set of stairs uh, that is in the middle of the room. That has a, oh my goodness, what's it called? Like a trap door. And there's a trap door with a blood trail leading over to it.
All right, well, I'm following that.
I'm probably gonna follow Pat because if I mean, did you point out that it was a blood trail?
Well, I think we both saw it because we both see or you
That
were
is fair.
investigating
That
with
is
me,
fair.
and
And drinking it.
Gus would have noticed it too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, we should all we should all probably check that out. That seems kind of dangerous. Blood usually doesn't happen unless danger happens.
Yeah, make sure you're ready for anything.
Okay.
Love doesn't happen.
Okie dokie. So you're all following the trail down.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, just give me one moment. Move your tokens over.
Okay, really fast. I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you do that. It'll be really fast.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm back. It appears we're
Welcome back.
still moving tokens around, so that's good.
Excuse me, technical difficulties.
Oh no, is Roman running the game?
He's raw. I'm back. I am evil man now. Meh. Alcohol is now my spell casting.
Oh no, and he got so
Ideal.
much alcohol.
He has all of the alcohol. Um. So let's see.
Don't worry, everyone. We totally have this, and none of us are going to perish.
No one's gonna explode. Hopefully.
My whole weekend shot now.
Oh no.
Why? What happened?
I wanted to explode.
Oh, I mean, nowadays, who doesn't? You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Side note,
Yeah.
everyone, while we're having technical difficulties, uh, I was accidentally rolling with advantage. I was just always doing the one on the left, but, I, I just realized how to fix it. Kay did it for me, but, but I see now how it would be fixed. I am a derp. Also, Wisteria Hydra. Yes. Also, side note, Wisteria is my favorite flower. It's also my favorite tree. It's both things.
All
It's very
right.
pretty.
It is very pretty. I've seen some of those like wisteria chandeliers. That some people make by hand. They have this like whole process and thing on it. It's a little bit crazy.
My favorite is the Wisteria tunnels. They basically like make metal arches to grow the Wisteria because it's like a tree vine thing, and it'll just crawl up on whatever you do. It has to be strong though, because Wisteria heavy.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I think I'm good. All right, I'm
Okay.
gonna move this over. You let me know if are you guys able to see everything?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool beans. Uh, Pat, Gus, are you both able to see everything?
Yes.
All right, cool beans. Sorry, I had to adjust the vision on it. I realized that I didn't put that on. All right. So you guys are descending. Feels like it's a couple flights. Some more. You go deeper. You see, kind of goes black for a moment. There's a low crackling as you finally make your way down into what seems to be the archives, and it is a mess down here. You're not necessarily sure why or what happened, um, but it looks like there was a battle that went on here. Um, as you see, kind of now there's just kind of spatterings of blood around. You guys uh are now faced with just books and books and books. If you want, if you so this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be in two parts. So as you're looking around, you can go ahead if you want, give me some perception checks, but also this is an archive of a lot of what the library used to have upstairs and doesn't anymore. So if you have anything that you want to find out, I can let you roll a history to see if you find something, or investigation to see if you find something.
I
All right, I
wonder.
am gonna do a perception check, but I also I have danger sense as a barbarian. So, do I sense like anything amiss other than what I already see?
Can you place danger sense in the chat just so I can see the verbiage?
Yes.
Your danger sense is not going off.
Okay.
And I also would like to note that I do have dark vision out to 120 feet. I can link that to you if you'd like.
That I'm all set with. That one I got. Um, I will say that this down here is pretty well lit.
Okay, cool. I would like to do a little searchy search for any information on the other poems potentially, or just information on the artifact in general. Uh,
All right, so roll me history. Or did I say no? Excuse me, investigation. You know what? Whichever two of the highest is for you. Wait, never mind. They're both in. Uh, investigation. I am so sorry.
Dang, history was ever so slightly better.
Oh, do you go for history then?
Okay,
Go, go for it. Whatever. Forget what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello.
I did a medium.
Uh, you did a 12. What I'll say you find. Um, you find a little not a little pamphlet. You find a little booklet. Uh, that kind of goes over the things you already know about the artifact. There is a couple things you didn't know. I will message those to you privately. But it
Okay.
does come up some interesting facts.
Of course she's gonna like put it like pocket it.
All right, you do that. So you can go ahead and just like if you want into your inventory or just make note that you have the artifact booklet. Anybody else?
All right, I'm just gonna do a straight perception check, just see if there's anything about
Yeah, that's what I'm
Tormenta.
gonna do too.
All right, y'all go right ahead.
Oh,
All right. You guys hear growling.
Nice.
I do not hear growling because I was too focused on searching for stuff.
So I'll say you can roll perception if you want, but you do hear growling. So I will say I won't give you direction, but there is growling in this in around here.
well, that's not coming from my stomach.
Pat was actually gonna look over at Gus and be like, "Was that you?" No.
Mastosi looks up like, huh? What? What's going on?
Pat is gonna move just more forward. He's not really the kind of like wait and see type. He's just gonna just keep walking.
All right, so I will say you get to about. Can you see this little pingy thing? Wow.
See real quick.
All right, you'll get about here. Um, and you'll see the dead body of what looks to be a more muscular woman who is out.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow like a little bit behind him. I am squished.
All right. Um, now that you see this corpse, what do y'all do?
Well, I would like to investigate it.
Are we sure she's not just taking a nap?
Oh dear, is that the woman that they mentioned before?
So you can go ahead. You give a pat down. You see that there is indeed a guild card on it, and there is indeed Calvary is written on where the name is uh, Calvary Benaku. Uh, and as you guys are kind of looking over the body, the growling starts to go closer. Um, as you guys see, a couple of wolves
Oh dear.
appear from either side, and you hear a laughing directly next to you, Masozi.
Uh-oh. I don't think I have time to move, do I?
Unfortunately, as you see a larger, burly man just kind of come out of nowhere and be like, "Man, they pay me too much for this job. This should be easy." Uh, and I want you all to roll initiative. Now, how to do this is you click on your token, you open up your sheet, and then you click initiative, and that will automatically add you to order. Beautiful.
Dang,
Beautiful.
okay.
Y'all ready
Oh, I
out
did
the
bad.
gate.
Sorry, I'm trying to... What?
No worries.
Okay, cool. Got it.
All right, cool beans. We're gonna go with the first roll of 7 though. As much as that nat 20 would be nice.
Oh, I don't mind.
Sweet. All right, allow me to go ahead and then fumble for a minute, talk like I know what's going on, and
Also, Pat, you
roll
hear a
for.
little meep come from Masozi. Moderately cowardly Masozi is like,
That's what you hear.
yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's see here. Where the heck is? Oh, there you go. Bam. All right, so we got initiative all rolled up. Uh, Pat. So I have some terminology real quick. So if I say you're on deck, that means you are up next. So that way you're given the opportunity to prepare your turn and what you're thinking about. Uh, I know that it is difficult, give yourself a minute to look over your options, see what you can do. You have the little handy dandy card I posted in. If you have any questions on if there's anything else you can do that necessarily isn't on that, please ask me. I'm always up for shenanigans. So Pat, at the moment, I'm gonna look for some probably some music. You go ahead and go off, fam.
All right, well, I am going to immediately pop over next to Masozi because she is my quest giver right now and stand in front of her and attack ya boy.
Alrighty, why don't you go ahead and swing that thing?
Ooh, I don't think so.
That is ooh. That. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's just gonna miss. Uh, Pat, you go ahead and you hear the eep come from Masozi, and you quickly, instinctively, you have your battle axe. Yeah, you have your great axe out, and you quickly whip that thing out. You rush over, you go in, you bring it down, but the thug is just barely able to parry off of it, and clangs as he swings his sword open. So Gus.
Oh, I think Kay's cutting out again.
Oh, my fault. I have push to talk on. My brain went. Oh, we'll just let go of that. Gus, you're up now. Masozi. Oh, wait a second. You should not be next. Uh, uh, Masozi, I'll let you know when you're on deck. But Gus, it's your turn right now.
Cool.
I am going to use a bonus action to cast Shillelagh.
Ooh, go off, Queen.
Send that to chat so we can get it. Then I am going to move up to this wolf, and I'm going to hit him. But I need to make it do the right stuff.
All right, go right ahead. Do you need any help with that, or are you good?
I think I got that.
You okay? You go. Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Oof. Oof.
Oh,
All right. So you go ahead. You turn the humble staff into as what does your look like?
Just a big mushroom grows at the end of my staff.
All right, so you see that there is a mushroom on the end of this staff, this long staff with this mushroom tip right on the end of it, as he goes ahead and whack right over the head of the wolf. You can see that it has smacked him for 7 schmeckles right there. That's 7 schmacks.
that's some good schmecks.
That's some good. Yeah, yeah, it is. All right, let me see. All right, can you guys hear the music?
I can.
Yeah.
All right, cool beans. And I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit so that way it's not super loud. All right, cool beans. So, you go ahead, you thwack them. Up next is actually this wolf right here. So what it's going to do right now is, let's see here. So what it's going to do is it is going to take the disengage action. So that means you cannot take opportunity attacks on it, and it is going to go boop, boop, right here for now. So you go ahead and you see it right rounds the corner right behind the bookshelf that stands in between you and it. Up next is the second wolf. You see that he goes ahead and he quickly charges in. Bam. All right. Pat. Or exactly. Or excuse me. Masozi. It's looking at you, hungry and gnarled. You see, as it bares its fang teeth, its malnourished form, looking like you are, just as you present a very delicious snack.
Hey.
And it, hey, and it's gonna.
Oh, you're kind of cutting out again. Maybe. Unless you're thinking.
My brain do be braining, but I appreciate you looking out for me, familia. So they're gonna go ahead and try and bite you. Does a 14 hit you?
Let me take a quick peek. It would, however, I got me a nice shieldy spell.
Oh my goodness. So just as the bite would connect, how does your shield present itself? What does it look like?
It probably looks like a vaguely, like a shimmering, just bubble kinda around my form. Just like
So you
just like waves of like different colors, but also no colors at all somehow. Just wiggling around my form.
So you see this flashing pearlescence that the hair of Masozi also reflects, surrounds her as the bite would come in and grab her on her oblique. You see the form kind of and pushes the wolf back off, and it prepares to pounce once again. The thug, now right in front of Pat, you see him go, oh, I was looking for a good fight. You seem like one. All right, let's give it a go. And he goes ahead. Oh, Masozi, by the way, you're on deck. He goes ahead and he's gonna bring down his mace right on top of you. Now, because you are within 5 feet of the wolf, he has pack tactics. So I'll go ahead and put that in there so you can read. He gets advantage on his attack roll. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to bring down his mace on top of you, Pat. So that's a crit.
Yep.
So that is the D6. So that is a total of 10 damage. Do you know how to remove health off of yourself, my good
Yep.
sir? All right, cool beans. He's gonna go in for his second mace swing. Does a 12 hit?
Nope.
All right, so you see, boom! You feel the crushing blow smash you right upside the head. And he goes in for another one, seeing that you weren't really defending it, but you bring your battle axe up, or your great axe, excuse me, and it acts like a shield as you swallow the blow with it. Masozi, it is your turn now.
Okay, I am going to look at these two jerk faces individuals near me. I'm not going to appreciate them, and I am going to do one of the few things I can. I'm going to smack them with a magic missile. I'm going to do 2 to the wolf and 1 to the boy that just bludgeoned my friendo.
All right. Which wolf specifically? Here,
The
I'll
one
go
that's trying to
ahead.
bite me.
All right, cool. I'm gonna make them purple, and I'm gonna make this other one a pretty pink.
Okay. And
That
then,
way we can
so, yeah.
differentiate. Oh,
That's
all right.
3 of
So,
those. So do I roll 1 for each thing? Because I'm pretty sure Magic Missile just hits.
yes. Magic missile automatically hits. You just roll damage. So you said 2 into the wolf, 1 into the thug.
Yeah. So I'll
All
do
right, go
the
for it.
first 2 to the wolf,
All right.
and then 1 to the thug.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
I do not appreciate
so-
being bitten.
All right. So you see, Masozi, you go ahead, and these blinding, colorless, colored lights leave your fingers as you go ahead and whip them into the air, and you see they fly around for a moment, and to meet the mark, it bashes into the head of the wolf as you see boom, boom. You can feel the force reel back its head as you see its face is now like contorted from the force, and the thug takes it right on the chest, and he just kind of rolls his shoulders, and he's good to go again. Pat, it is your turn now. Gus, you're on deck.
All right, well, I think Pat is starting to get a little bit annoyed, so I go into a rage.
He's popping off. He's popping off. All right.
So do I just attack with my normal weapon and
Hey. Yes. So you get, what is it? Advantage, or you get plus. Let me see here. All right, cool. So yeah, so you just get extra damage on your attack, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right, cool beans. Yeah, go for it. Swing, and then we'll go ahead and I'll add that in. Yep. All right. Yep. It'll do it. Yep. That'll do it. That'll do it. So you're swinging this at the thug.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Wow. Amazing roll. So you got, bam.
Amazing. Wonderful. Beautiful.
Amazing. I know. I realized how I said it. All right. Don't you judge me. So you go ahead and you, with your annoyance, you enter this mildly annoyed rage. Your very passive aggressive breaths as they exit your nostril. You see that you go ahead and you attempt to hew the thug in half, and you hear the axe cut through his leather armor and into him as you drag the axe back out, and you see he that was good. That was a good hit. That was a real good hit. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Cool beans. Gus, it is you.
Alrighty. I'm slow, so I can't quite get where I want to go in melee range. So I'm instead going to cast Chill Touch on the dog that is right next to Masozi.
He's a very rude
Easy.
boy.
Get him. So this one, you have to make a ranged spell attack.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just look at my references here. Oof. That does not hit. So, what does this? So, what does your spell look like? So, what is this hand? Is there anything special about it, or is it your standard skeletal hand?
Looks like a possum's hand.
So you see its long, pink, rotten hand kind of approaches. It passes through you, Masozi, and attempts to grasp at the dog, but the dog is able to bite that hand that almost killed it, and flail it and smack it against the ground. Gus, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm just gonna move a little closer to my friends here.
Absolutely. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Next up is the wolf. It is not looking super great at the moment. So it's going to... Bam. Oof. All right. So, wolves also have pack tactics, which means they attack with advantage if they have an ally within 5 feet of the creature. So it's going to attack you, Masozi.
Also, be aware that the shield is until my next turn.
Yes, it already had passed your turn.
Okay. Like, it's the start of my next turn, so, yeah.
Yeah, I will double check so, sorry for your next turn. Okay, so that shield is gone.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to be sure about that.
Absolutely, I appreciate you checking that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the attack as it tries to bite at you. Does a 14 hit?
14 does in fact hit.
All right, so you need to make me a DC 11 Strength saving throw.
Okay.
While I roll
Oh
damage.
boy. It's gonna go well. Oh hey, it actually did go well. That's a 17.
Masozi, you've been making sure you haven't been skipping leg day. You go ahead and you feel... So first of all, you take 10 damage. Do you know how to remove health off of yourself?
I believe so. Do I take 10?
So, you go ahead, it tries, so it bites right into your side. It flails its head around, thrashing left and right as it tries to bring you down. The bite did damage. It really hurts.
Oh.
Unfortunately, something like this you're a little more familiar with, but that is a subject for another day. However, it does not bring you down. Despite its attempts to bring you down, you are able to just go ahead and shrug it off. Masozi ain't no bitch. She was not bitch made. She a real one. Up
She
next is the
determined.
next. Hey, what's up?
She determined.
Damn straight. Today ain't death day. So we go ahead and we move on to the next wolf. The next wolf, seeing the devastating blow that Pat had done onto the thug, is gonna go for Pat this time. So we're gonna do that. I'm assuming 23 is going to hit.
Yep.
All right, cool beans. So that's going to be 5 piercing, and I'm going to need a strength saving throw from you because you're in rage. You have advantage, and you take 5 piercing. Half down, so that's actually 2 pier. Come on now.
Not today.
Not
Yeah, so
today.
You take 2 damage, actually, excuse me, because you're enraged, and then also, you've played with Pomeranians before. This is no different than a Pomeranian trying to take you down. The tiny, is you big strong Pat. This tiny dog, it no do much. You just shrug that thing off, so you're good. It goes ahead, it bites into your arm, but you go ahead and fling it off. Up next is the thug. Masozi, you're on deck.
Cool.
The thug is gonna go ahead and move over here, seeing as it's got the opportunity to. It's going to take an attack at Masozi.
They know to geek the mage. This is bad.
Let's see here. Does a 12 hit you?
12 ties.
So meets beats. So your AC is 12.
Yes.
So then it would hit. It does 3 bludgeoning damage.
Well.
All right, the second attack is going into Pat. Does an 18 hit you, friend?
Yes.
All right. That's gonna be 1 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
He's flailing. He's cursing and flailing. He manages to clock Masozi on the arm, and it does not feel great. She is right on death's door. The thug then goes ahead and catches you. You're able to block. You block it with your like big, beautiful bicep, crafted and sculpted by Greek, what would be in this world, Greek sculptors. As it like catches you, you see the bruise, but you just passive aggressively garumph. Masozi, it is currently your turn. Pat, you are on deck.
Okay. So I'm getting a little bit annoyed. A little bit. Let's see. I just wanna. I'm reading this really fast. Okay, so it's a bonus action. Good. Cool. I'm gonna use up my sorcery points to create a new spell slot for myself.
Ooh. Go for it. I love it.
Getting empowered by the Angies.
Yep, the Angies. You also fly into a rage. You don't get any of the benefits, but you're a real man. Your rage is a little more ferocious than Pat's. Pat's is passive aggressive. Yours is aggressive.
I'm going to then cast Magic Missile again, and I'm gonna just do 1 for each of them. One for all 3.
All right, so just announce which roll is for which one.
Okay, we'll go from left to right. Leftmost wolf, bottom bitch wolf, and then the Mr. Clubman.
Will do. All right, go for it.
1, not good. 2, medium good. And 3, medium good again.
So, do you want to describe what it looks like as you finish this bottommost wolf?
Yeah. So, Masozi, angered as she is, her arm got fucking bit. She got clobbered. She is in no mood anymore. This is why she hired adventurers to come and help her, because she knows that this kind of shit happens. She sent off that first one, and it was a ball of, that strange, pale, everything but nothing white light went to the first one. And then she just holds the next one in her hand and just shoves it down on top of the wolf's already cracked skull. And then she uses that kind of sweeping motion to send the third one off to the thug. That doesn't really matter.
Grace and savagery. How beautiful. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
She glares daggers at the next wolf. And not quite, I don't think I can roll intimidation, but she's glaring at that other wolf. I don't fucking think about it.
If you want, you know what? For the sake of it, let's see. Roll that intimidation, let's see what happens. You know what I'll do? I'll give the next attack -2.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
it was,
right. That's
it
the.
was mostly for roleplay reasons. She's just mad
Hey,
at wolves.
listen. Oh no, I got you. Listen, I like to add a little funk to my thing. So you heard the dog yelp in the background, so that's what the wolf did. I'm taking that. And so it will have -2 to its attack next turn if it lives. Pat, it is currently. Are you all set?
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right, cool. It's your turn, Gus. You're on deck.
Pat is gonna just kind of like sidestep right here and attack this guy once more.
Go for it. All right. That's gonna do it. Why don't you go ahead and describe to me how you remove this man from this mortal plane?
Okay, listen, I can't paint that nice of a word picture as Moss did.
I believe in you. If you don't, if I believe in you, you can do it. And if not, sometimes simple is best.
But Pat, he just, sidesteps and says, I am growing tired of this. And just brings that great axe down on him.
And you see as the head kind of crumples in and splits open as the axe kind of right into that thing. And you see kind of get stuck, and he pulls that out and kicks the body onto the ground, and it splats right next to the wolf. Gus, it is your turn.
I'm gonna step on up to this wolf, and I'm gonna bring my shillelagh quarterstaff down upon its skull.
Go ahead for it.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's going miss, Senorita. That's going
no.
miss.
Well,
Well, at least the wolf doesn't have advantage now. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Was there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
nope, that's all I got.
Alrighty, you move up and you charge in with your mushroom like a spear. You try to jab at it, and the wolf kind of bites the mushroom off and spits it on the ground. And you kind of go, "Hey!" and you grow another mushroom on the end of it. It's the wolf's turn. Let's see if it can go ahead and try and work. It's gonna have -2 to this next roll, but it is. Oh, no. Ignore this next roll. I accidentally clicked on the wrong sheet. It never happened. It never happened.
Didn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Removed from atoms. There.
Exactly.
There it is. Alright, so boom. So got a 4 total. That's gonna miss. So you see that its haggard state is really affecting it. It tries and bites at you, Masozi, once again, but it's unable to connect. You're kind of used to the pattern of how the wolves are attacking. It is your turn, Masozi. Pat, you're on deck.
Okay, rad. I'm gonna keep one spell slot in my pocket, and I'm gonna mind sliver this probably not very intelligent wolf.
All right, it's got to beat a 15 on intelligence.
Yes.
Let's see what happens.
It might be a shockingly smart wolf.
We'll see.
It was not a very smart wolf.
That's a -1, fam. I'll give you that one. So, you go ahead and what does it look like?
So Masozi, being a bit of a weaver herself, takes 2 of her fingers, pinches them together, and then pulls them apart, and there's this little black, what looks like needle, and then she just throws it right at the wolf's dumb little face. And it sinks into its brain and does little shadow wiggles. The bad time.
Pat and Gus, all you see like kind of like flicking a tooth. You ever see those videos of like people flicking a toothpick really hard and it, like goes through like a styrofoam cup? It's something like that, where you just see like the fingers coil and tighten and then explode in kinetic and magical energy as you see the needle kind of pierce through directly the head, as you see it leaves a little entry hole right there, and you just see the wolf kind of stand there and then fall over limp as it is no longer on this mortal plane. You guys have survived your encounter.
Masosi's probably gonna fall to a knee, just real close to death, just just like holding the bite wound and also the club mark. Mostly the bite wound though. Ow.
Yeah, you guys are let me go ahead. So I'm gonna do right quick. I'm gonna go ahead and banish these to
The Shadow Realm? The Shadow Realm?
all right. So Jimbo sent to the Shadow Realm. So you guys are left alone inside of the archive. Masozi, worse for wear, Pat, got some bruises around, but hey, you aight. And Gus, you vibing, ma'am, you vibing. Uh, bam. All right, cool beans. What do you guys do now?
Well, I'm gonna investigate the thug's corpse.
You go ahead and you pat down the corpse. You find, you find, let me see. You find like what would be about 50 gold each for you in like gems. Um, and you find a small note on him. You go ahead and you open the note, and it reads, listen, I need you, if anybody that comes down into the archive, you need to take them out. I need to come back. There's something I forgot, or there's something I wasn't able to get the other night. So just keep an eye on it. Anything above is fine, but below, I still need something. And it's signed Rain.
Lost my pen for a second.
I do it all the time. It's fine. That's why I have like a giant stack of them somewhere.
Are there any like spare bits of fabric, either in my weaver's tools or just laying around? Maybe I can rip something off the thug. I don't know how clean his clothes look.
His clothes haven't been washed in some time. I would say that you have some cloth with you.
Gus, can I borrow that? I mean, you're a druid type. You have some kind of you have a disinfectant, some kind of something to put on this so it doesn't get infected. That's a
Oh
wolf
god,
fight.
the mushroom tequila.
How's that?
Masozi
Do
doesn't
you
know
want me
about
to-
the tequila.
Do you want me to heal your boo-boos?
I honestly yes, that would be very much appreciated.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on you.
Go ahead and roll that out.
I'm gonna hold my bitten and bruised arm out.
So, Masozi, you are healed for 7 HP. How does your healing? Oh well, you just touch and heal him. So you feel the paw of Gus hold on to you. They chant something in Druidic for a second, and you feel some of the wounds start to close. Your head isn't like bumping like it's a medieval rave right now, and you're kind of feeling a bit better.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. See, this is why I had to hire other people. I can't do this on my own.
I don't think much of anyone could do this on their own. And Pat starts walking over to this corpse over here. Check her out.
So there isn't much else you find on the body. You find the official guild paper on them, like the formal writing of the quest saying like this is such and such reaching out to the guild because we have something that's happened recently, blah 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 blah. Beyond that, on their person, you just find there's some personal belongings. That's it. Just you do find a little photo um, of themselves with what seems to be an older woman.
That is not a house call I want to make. Do I recognize her? Was she in my guild or?
So she roll me a history. Oh, yeah. Actually, you've worked with her. It's been a while since you've last worked, and let alone worked with her. But you've known her to be quite the proficient archer. Also really good at things when it comes to stuff like this. Usually, about finding stuff. You knew that she would work alongside. I was working a guild primarily to help with her mother and her oh my goodness, in her fish market over by the port. Her mother had her own little fish. Her father would go out and hunt. Her mother would go ahead and sell the fish. And she was a part of the guild to go ahead and help that because that's all I've wanted to do.
Alright, well, I am going to take that picture and put it in my pocket for later.
All right. Um, is there anything else y'all want to do down here?
Well, I want to find whatever that item is that he wasn't able to find or retrieve.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea.
All right. Um, so, hmm, what I'll say is, hmm. So you don't really have a lot to go off of on the note. So it'd be difficult to be looking in here, especially where it doesn't seem that anything is particular of any particular importance down here. So you can make like a primary investigation roll to see if there's anything. It's gonna be a high DC. Um, but if you want, you can always come back with some more info. Up to you guys what you want to do.
Hmm. Well, I don't. Would it hurt to do at least an initial investigation before we get more information?
No, you guys can
Yeah,
go
it
ahead
wouldn't
and look
hurt.
around.
Yeah, you want to do the old investigation trio?
Yeah, I'll take one roll from each of you.
I'm not so good at this, so hey, I'm pretty okay at this actually.
So I'll say even with a 15, that is a good roll. Um,
I mean, yeah, you did say
unfortunate,
it was a really high DC, so.
right? Um, it's difficult to find. Um, you guys are looking through different books. You find like some old records. Masozi, I will say you in particular find an old graduation photo of a Roman. He seems to be like about a century ago. He seems to be a lot more happy, a lot more youthful. He actually looks a little bit built. Um, and you see around him he has two other individuals. It seems to be a human and a orc, half orc. You're not sure, but that's what it's looking like in this sepia tone photo. But beyond that, um, you guys don't really find much. Um, I will, uh, Moss, since you rolled a 15, this is what I'll do for you because that is a good roll and I don't want it to go to waste. You can ask me one question.
One question about.
If there's anything history wise you're curious of, uh, sorry, I should have specified. If there's anything you're curious about history wise, I'll give you a little more on it.
Okay, history wise. Hmm, 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 hmm. Hmm. Um, remembering a little bit more about the bad behavior of my father would be helpful for future endeavors and also for just really understanding what I'm up against.
So you find a few old articles that were printed that happened to reach ages from about 20-30 years ago. You find a bunch of reportings. You're not sure how relevant that will be to now, but what you do see is that Olivar has always kind of been in this position of being an iron ruler. You do know, so before, it's different from the general of his army now. You're not sure of who it is now, but before he used to be an onyx-skinned tiefling who went by Donovan, and he had his own personal conscripted army that went by the name of the Dark Arms, and they personally as far as you know, used to serve um, King Olivar. You're not entirely sure if they do now. It's been a bit difficult to kind of lock down information on stuff considering your distance to obviously him.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else y'all want to do?
If we're heading out, I for sure want to take her body with me just to make sure that it gets up there, and everyone knows what happened.
All right, cool beans. So, Pat, you go ahead and you scoop under her knees and on her behind her back. Um, very respectful carry as you lift her up. Um, and you guys are heading out for the moment.
I think unless there's something super interesting, I think that'll be what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Also, while we're moving to leave, I want to quickly do a little prestidigitation on everyone's armor just to get them nice and cleaned up.
So you go ahead and you cast a little doobly doo, and you feel, and you guys, although somehow there's still flour on
Yeah.
your apron pat, um, it's not covered in your and their blood now.
Perfect.
And Gus, you really didn't need anything. You needed a little touching up your hat, needed a little quaffing.
That's the
But
first bath Gus has had in years.
True.
yeah, you. What does Gus smell like now?
Um, I will make it so it's just you know what? Let's do like a petrichor with also Gus's natural like scent a little bit, so Gus doesn't get freaked out. Like
So
Did it rain in here?
now,
Mushroom scent.
mushroom scent,
so
yeah.
now, yeah, you smell of grounded earth, the scent just before it rains, and the light smatterings of strong hooch. um. Okay. So, Moss, is it all right with you if I organize some notes and use the bathroom and call for like a 5-10 minute break?
Yeah, we can do that. We did a big combat, so
Yeah.
I think Masozi's still gonna have to like catch her breath. Healing does take energy too.
Dang straight, dang straight. All right. All right. So then I'm going to be right back. I think this would be a good time for bathroom breaks and drinks and such.
Oh, also, since we're taking a quick break and they're taking a quick break in character, can Masozi do like a little quick patch job on her bite marks on like with her weaver kit? Just like a quick little like just a quick little stitching up.
I'll say in time. So we'll address that when we get back, just depending on what you guys do next. So if
Okay.
you guys go out and kind of hit the town, I'll say no because you would have been headed straight from the museum. If you guys are taking a bit to kind of settle in, then yes.
Okay.
Uh, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
All
Okie
right.
doke.
Break time, everybody. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then we can have a little out of character chit chat about shenanigans.
Woo.
Party time.
And I return. I don't know if anyone else is here, but I am here. I'm going to.
I'm
You're here?
I'm here, but I'm sneezing like heck.
Oh no. Yeah, I think Masozi might have a vendetta against wolves now.
Which is too bad because Pat loves wolves.
Okay, so hostile wolves, let's say. She really hates
Fair.
hostile wolves. Any bitey boys are gonna get one heck of a glare.
Fair. Yeah, Pat's like kind of more towards where the colder regions, so they would have a lot of thick furred dogs out there.
Yeah, I mean, Masozi loves doggos. Masozi's a sucker for the animals.
Including but not limited to a possum.
Yeah. He likes Gus. Gus is a fun little pal. Honestly, Masozi is not sure of the gender of Gus, so she's just kind of going with it. I know Lysander has told us Gus's gender. Masozi has no clue. Masozi's like, it's a fuzzy opossum, and it's helpful, and I like it.
Pat's notes include do not drink from flask, likes cookies.
Masozi does not know about the flask.
Yep.
Yeah, she was just like, hey, do you have anything that can help me? I got bit. She was about to like just bandage herself up. She has no experience in anything medical at all. She was just like, pressure stops the bleeding, maybe. So
yeah,
wrap
I've
it.
got like a +1 in medicine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she technically has a +3, but no proficiency. So like lucky guesses mostly is what I'm imagining it as. Like,
Yeah.
I know blood is supposed to be on the inside of the body, and I know that blood clots if you put pressure on it. I think.
Something like that. Paxton's proficiencies are in like nature and survival. That's all he's really gotten.
Yeah, a lot of Masozi's are social stuff, because sorcerers, charisma casters, fun. And also for,
Meanwhile, I'm -1.
It's so funny that Pat was kind of acting as the face with his -1 charisma.
Right?
But he has
I
the
mean,
badge.
yeah, when it comes to like the guild hookup, he doesn't really have to persuade anyone. He can just be like, hey, this is my job. Do you need any help?
Yeah. Masozi just has to bust in with fucking sheer persuasion willpower and be like, hey, you should definitely let me do this and help me. It's a good idea. Yes. Shut up.
Just do the thing.
Just come
Don't understand why
on.
you're not doing the thing.
Just don't have her try to bat her eyelashes, apparently, because that shit doesn't work.
Apparently.
She just... It was a miscalculation on her part. God. I almost feel bad for Roman. He's a sweet but kind of dumb boy.
He pointed a finger at me, and that was an offense.
I mean, that was kind of rude, honestly.
The
Have
worst
you ever
thing he could have possibly done.
like pointed at someone and they didn't get annoyed with you? Has someone ever pointed at you and you were just cool with it? If I pointed my finger at you for no reason, I feel like you'd take offense to it.
Nah, see, that's rude. See, what happens? What you do is you point with your lips. That's the Hispanic way to do it. You go, él, ahí, él. Tú sabes.
So I work I work at a convenience store, and I have a customer who will point out like if he wants cigarettes by doing that.
Hey, listen, I can. Yep, that's how I work. I work at a hardware store, so I am also used to the. Mira esa cosita ahí. Usted puede dar esa. Ahí sí. All right. So, how are we enjoying everything so far?
Going good so far.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm really liking it. I'm sorry I made your dice backwards, but I need you facing us.
It's all good. No worries.
I noticed that near the beginning, and I've been staring at it ever since.
I didn't. I will now.
That's a
It's all
mind
good.
sliver for you, Kay.
That's at least a 1d8 psychic damage and disadvantage on everything else. So if I mess anything up, it's your fault.
Yes. How are you feeling about it, Gus?
Have fun.
That's all I ever want. All right. Me tinks. I,
I'm
I
sorry.
was just
I,
thinking
I shared my
of
notes with Kay, and some of them are
just
comedic.
I love it. It brings joy to my soul. Um all right. I think I got kind of what options are open to me now. Anything that I am kind of prepared for, and if anything we're going to roll with it. All right. Cool. So, we're out so we're gonna take our so are we all good, actually, I should say, instead of being rude and just assuming everything's okay? Are we all good?
Yeah, I mean, Pat's ready to leave.
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready, Gus?
I'm also ready.
Rad.
All right, cool beans. So you guys make your way back up and uh the stairs. You went down to the archives, you're back in the messy room, you leave the curtains. Uh I'm assuming you all inform the local guards that are there, that are to just kind of be like, hey, listen, this happened, this is what I found. Is that's what's happening?
Yeah, I let them know, hey, we found a note. They are planning to be back. I need someone to be guarding that area.
All
They
right.
also see my friend's corpse that I'm carrying, so.
So they go ahead and do they ask you if you want that, if you uh to hand them over the corpse, and they'll go ahead and give them a proper burial. If you want to go over to their house now,
Yeah,
uh,
I am going to hand her body to them for the burial, but I would like to go and see her mom just to let her know.
all right, cool beans. That's what will happen then. So, are we cool with making that detour?
I mean, I am. You have to have respect for the dead.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes, yes, it is. Okay, so boop, we'll come out back to the map. We'll say it takes you guys a little bit throughout the day. So we'll say, uh, sun's kind of coming down. Sky is a nice, gorgeous, purpley orange hue as you guys look out over to the sea that Aegis sits on. I don't like the name the Grand Sea, so I'm gonna give it a different name when my brain isn't not braining.
The really
Um,
very big sea.
the really very huge Chungus Hungamagungus Sea.
That thick sea.
Bro, that sea right there, just by walking, it sounds like Lady Gaga's applause. Um, so you guys reach over to Port Aegis or Aegis, with Pat leading the charge. Pat, you deal with a lot of baked goods, so you're used to having to help stop by here and with the guild's chef pick up some things for him. So you are familiar with the mother of Chevalier, um, and her stand. So you see that she's kind of shutting down shops. He's closing up. You see she's wrapping up fish and storing it in barrels of ice. You see that she's putting away a bunch of the other administrative stuff in her money box and stuff like that.
All right, and I do approach her and I say, I am so sorry that I have to come to you under these circumstances.
Oh, Pat, you. What do you mean? Are you all right? Is everything okay? Do you need something?
He hands her the picture.
Oh, I'll make sure I return this to her. She's so forgetful.
He's probably visibly crying by this point.
Masosi's gonna like try to lift an arm and try to like give Pat a little pat on the big old arm.
And you see that the you see that the kind of the horror kind of dawns on her as the the gravity of the situation becomes real apparent. Um, it She looks down at the pic. She looks up at you, Pat, who you have tears currently streaming.
You're kind of cutting out, Kay.
Oop. Hello?
It might be better.
Am I good?
I think you're good.
Okay.
Nope, you're not good actually.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
All right, I think I'm all right now. All right, I got the music in the back. So she looks up at you, Pat, and you see her innocent dark eyes just kind of dilate. You see her hand go over her mouth. She starts to, you see her hand kind of shaking as it goes over her mouth. You see that she squints and tears roll up in her eyes. She starts shaking her head and she goes, "No, it can't. No, she can't. Pat, this has to be a cruel joke. You can't."
I want to kind of just slowly and gently like sidle over kind of near her and like very subtly offer an arm in case she needs something to lean against her stability.
She most definitely, she just goes ahead and she just kind of like hangs on to it. Um, you can see the shock and disbelief in her face at the moment. Um, just like the moment of that cheery happiness, that misunderstanding just immediately dissipating as soon as the weight of what's happened kind of dawns on her. And you see that she was like, she couldn't have. Please, Pat, please tell me you're
Masosi's probably staring after her for a moment, seeming kind of lost in thought. Um, and, but after a moment, she's gonna, look back to Pat and be like, "You okay? I know you're not okay, but."
Pat just kind of like gets up and he rights himself and he's like, I just seem to be losing a lot of friends lately.
I understand. These are, rough times. Uh, Masos is also gonna, like, look at Gus and, if Gus seems okay with it, give Gus a little pat on, like, the shoulder. Like, not in a rude way, just, like, gentle. Like, pat.
Like your hand.
Masozi will accept this. So, I don't know if, all of you are feeling up to doing anything. I know that that was a lot. I know that we might have a lead, we might not. The person suggested that they were gonna come back later. I know that I'm pretty sure you saw some information on some businesses, but I also understand if you need to take a moment, Pat.
Yeah, I think he's good for now. I don't feel like he needs to go to the guild. I feel like the guards will take care of that part of it.
All right. So, as Moss mentioned, you guys have a couple of clues that were left for you. So, you know that this Rain individual will be returning to the museum at some point. You're unsure of when. He's looking for something important. You're not sure of what. You know where. Uh, well, not specifically, but you know the general area. You also have found the glove from the general store that I mentioned previously. You also have the uh, excuse me, the staff that was also previously mentioned.
All right, I feel like the staff is going to be our better lead because it's a general store and it's got gloves. There's probably going to be a lot of people who buy those gloves. But if the staff is, better quality, that's probably a limited supply that's running out.
Yeah. And I imagine that whoever's returning will probably try to come at night. So I think we have a little bit of time to ask around before we might do a stakeout, potentially.
Stay out.
Pat's like, I have this wonderful recipe where you can make mushrooms into steaks.
Mushrooms, steak shrooms, mush steaks.
Sounds like black magics of the highest order.
Yeah, I mean, Minecraft has those mushroom cows, so it's not
The
entirely
mushrooms.
yeah, the mushrooms exactly. So who's to say they don't exist here, you know? Maybe I had an idea,
Right?
sold it to Mojang, and
But
now they're profiting off of my idea.
yeah, so I think we have a pretty good idea of what our next steps are going to be.
Oh, we might want to heal first. Maybe get some potions.
So I'm thinking, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for tonight, this is a good stopping point.
Okay.
Uh, if that's all right with you, Moss.
Oh, yep, of course.
Um, So to just kind of reiterate, uh, you guys have a few leads you can go off of, a few points that you can tack the situation with while looking for this poem. Um, and now need some time to maybe recover and stuff like that. So we can go over recovery stuff like that off camera, and we can go ahead and address anything that you bought. Although that does require going to the general store, so it may not be something that happened. We'll discuss it. Worst case scenario. I am the powerful man, so I can make whatever I want happen.
Yeah, and I'm sure that anything we do in downtime, we can like come back and give the information to each other too. So I don't think it would be too bad. I don't know how intense the information the general store person's gonna have, but if we decide to go down that route, we can always like reconvene next time and tell each other like what we found out at the general store, because at least we're gonna be going to the general store to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that works out either way. I agree. So I think that's good. So we can always discuss that or do that or however we want to do it. We're gonna have fun our way.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I know we're going to be reconvening the Tuesday after next because it's every other Tuesday.
See, works perfectly.
Same
So
time,
we'll do
same
that.
place.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Also, yes, I also got choked up over the poor old lady. That poor
Listen, that's just good
woman.
storytelling.
It is. And he had the ambiance music too.
Oh, stop! You gonna make me blush under all this dark skin. All right. Is there anything else we want to do or anything?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is gonna be like downtime stuff or anything like that.
Cool beans. All right. So, I'm not sure how to officially sign off. Moss, this is your stream, so I'm going to give that to you.
All right. I don't see anyone on that is super like raid awesome unless someone knows someone that we should raid. Otherwise, I'm just gonna call it and sign off.
Thank you for letting me DM. I'm looking forward to the rest of our adventures. It's been a wonderful time. You all are fantastic players.
Thank you so much for
Yeah, thank you
DMing
for
and
DMing.
yeah, that's the hardest thing to find.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this speaks to the quality of DMing you'll be having from this point on for the foreseeable future.
And thank you so much for our guest stars, the wonderful Rafe as Pat, and the awesome Lysanderish as Gus, and the super radical DMK. We will all be here again for the Tuesday after next at the same time, and the adventure will continue. I hope you all
Yeah.
have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye.
Night.
Good night. Bye. Bye.